He was she was superb looking. And he was, and I'll never forget this. And he was like mediocre, but he was a sweetheart of a man. So I could tell he was either really rich or really had a big dick or something. And they came back and they said, listen, we know you're at this hotel, right? You said you're 3 miles from here. We live in a house. We have a warm bed. Nobody will break into your door tonight. And we'll drive you to the bus station. And you can take the bus from Baltimore to New York. They have a 9 o'clock in the morning. We do it all the time. And I looked at them and I'm like, okay. And I went back to the hotel. No, I never checked into the hotel. The bus I got into Baltimore was late. That's why I had my luggage. And I had to take a cab. And they said, no, we'll just drive you. And we went back to their place. They introduced me to their dog. They couldn't have kids or something. She was sick. And we smoked some pot. We went to bed. Next morning I got up and I smelled bacon. I had bacon. I had some eggs. They were very nice. They drove me. I think I kept in touch with them. I lost their number. But who does that happen to? I wasn't a star. I wasn't doing movies then. I was living with Josh Wolf on his couch, paying him $100 a month to live on his fucking couch. They could have done anything they wanted to me, Lee. No, Lee, and I got 1,000 of those.
That's a cool documentary.
1,000 of those fucking stories. Being in Iowa and meeting people that just want to. I remember one time I was in Arlington. There used to be. What's the club in Texas? There's the Dallas Improv and Hyenas. Well, Hyenas used to have 2 or 3 clubs, and they hired me to do Wednesday through Sunday, and that Wednesday was Black Night, and I went up on Black Night thinking I was going to die, and I killed. And on the way out, this black family took me to their house and cooked for me. They weren't millionaires. This house looked like a fucking bomb ate it. A bomb hit it. They lived in the projects, and the black people out there all ganged up. In fact, there was a guy out there making pork chop sandwiches, Lee.
Just on the side of the road?
Lee, delicious.
I bet. Fried
pork chops on the side of the motherfucking street, and you took your own white bread. So it was like a thing of white bread. 1,000 black hands that had been in there with crack on their fingernails. God, no. The guy did not give a fuck. If you bought a pork chop, you would stick your fucking greasy hands in there and get 2 pieces of white bread out. He would put the pork chop on the white bread, and you would bite into it and figure out where the bone was later. Once you heard your tooth crack, booyah, you hit the fucking bone. He didn't take it out. And he gave you like a sauce, a thing of hot sauce. Again, you could see mud on the fingers and AIDS and shit and crack and fucking pussy juice, and you had to put hot sauce on your fucking pork chop, and that's how you ate it. And he barely gave you like a napkin. The napkin he gave you had his fingerprints on it that were fucking disgusting. But it was delicious. And I went to these black people's house, and they got me stoned on the worst weed ever, Lee. Like 4 of us must have smoked 15 fucking joints, and we barely got high. We went outside, we bought the pork chop sandwiches, and they gave me a ride home. I've never forgotten that. Never forgotten that. They got me high. They were very funny. They enjoyed that I was Cuban. They could have mugged me, Lee. They could something made me trust them.
Did anyone ever do anything creepy?
One time I almost got mugged in Fresno.
How?
This black football coach used to bring us up there twice a year. Me, Felipe, Gabriel, Rudy, Martin Moreno, D. Militant, a couple black comics. Real cool guy. He paid you okay. And he'd either fly you up or you drive up with those guys, Rudy or whoever. And we did a gig one night. I was buying drugs. I'm not going to tell you I wasn't doing nothing. And after a show, I got involved with some Mexican gangbangers with like dread, not those, with those things in their hair, like Tom Segura put on the cover of his hair.
Cornrows?
White girls like cornrows. And they had tats and shit, and they had the cornrows, and we started talking. They started talking about blow, how they get it. If cocaine was... and I didn't see it coming. This is the thing that you think that you're so cool, and you think you're Johnny Street, and I started talking to these fucking Mexican dudes. of a sudden, in all this, some black dudes pulled up with like that Denzel car on Training Day, like that same type of car, no bullet holes, nothing. And they got out, and we all started talking. So one thing led to the other. And they're like, well, he's looking for this. And they're like, all right, well, why don't we take him? And we just drop his ass off at the hotel after he gets his shit. You know, how much you want? And I'm like, so I didn't know what happened. I thought that the people I was with knew the Mexican dudes. All of a sudden, I'm getting in the car with the black people. And I'm in the back seat behind the driver. And we pull a little bit. And that's when I realized nobody's in this car that I know. These guys don't know me from fucking Adam Lee. I'm like, what the fuck happened? And we drive like a mile or two, and there's a gas station. And I go, let's pull in there and get some sodas and stuff. And they're like, all right, G. So what type of numbers you looking to get? You know, we need 200 just to roll down. And I'm like, no. That guy, we went to that gas station. When I pulled in that gas station, the coach that booked those rooms pulled up. He goes, hey, let me holler at you for a second. He goes, dog, we got to get in your car. Well, what the fuck are you doing with these guys? If you need something, I'll get you something. He goes, these guys will rob you. Come on. And we got the fuck out of there. And that was the closest I ever came.
Fuck. That's scary.
But that was my fault for doing drugs. See, and every time I did that room, I always got the drugs there. Again, sometimes one night I was with Rodrigo and Felipe. Yeah. And I got a bag of meth there. And I started doing it, and I was fucked up. And Rodrigo, and I'm in Felipe's and Rodrigo's room, and I can't stop smoking cigarettes, and I can't stop talking. And I had to be honest with them. I said, I did some fucking meth. You know, what are you going to do? I don't know if it was
You can't walk on one leg?
You can't walk on one leg. Sometimes you got to hit it from two directions. You know, I'm not going to tell you I was fucking drug-free 10 years ago. I did whatever came along. You have a little speed some nights. Fuck it. It's been a while. I'm like fucking, what's his name? It's been a while. What the fuck?
I don't know.
Yeah, I do a little bit of fucking yay from time to time. I wouldn't do it anymore. I wouldn't know what to do now, lady. Do you know that?
Really?
I wouldn't know what to do. And every 6 months, not that somebody asked me if I would do blow, but somebody asked me, what do I think? And I tell them, I go, I don't think anything. I think that if I ever did, I would die that night.